Cooper had never really known love, but he missed Murphy a lot. Even the distance of light years couldn't lessen Cooper's love for Murphy. It was all because of the promise Cooper made to Murphy. Across time and space, Cooper sent his thoughts to Murphy, believing love could cross dimensions. In five-dimensional space, Cooper watched his past self. He wished he had stayed with Murphy back then. But that terrible year of blight changed everything. The blight ruined crops, leaving empty, hopeless fields. Famine and sandstorms changed the future for humanity. People put all their resources into farming. Technology development was left behind. Cooper, once an astronaut, became a farmer and raised his two kids, Murphy and Tom. Murphy shared her father's love for space exploration. Murphy was naturally smart. She loved exploring the universe as she grew up. Tom struggled in school, and the family had limited resources for higher education. He naturally became the choice to manage the farm. That day, the family shared breakfast. Murphy often mentioned a ghost in her room. A model lunar module on Murphy's shelf mysteriously fell. The harvester on the farm malfunctioned. It drove itself from the field to Cooper's house. Cooper, a former astronaut, was baffled by the bizarre events. They found books scattered across the floor. Murphy noticed gaps on the shelf and wondered if the ghost used Morse code. Cooper dismissed Murphy's theory. A few days later, something unusual happened. An unseen force drew attention in Murphy's room. Dust formed a pattern of symbols on the floor. The symbols varied in width and shape. Cooper analyzed the symbols all night. He realized it wasn't Morse code. It was a binary signal. Wide symbols represented 1. Narrow symbols represented 0. Cooper decoded geographic coordinates from the pattern. Using the coordinates, Cooper sneaked in the space base. Security caught his sneaky behavior. When Cooper wakes up again, Tars, a robot, questions Cooper. But Cooper only cared about Murphy's comfort. He ignored the robot's questions entirely. At that moment, Dr. Amelia Brand enters. She reveals the truth about the base. NASA, she explains, was never disbanded. Scientists found no solution to the food crisis. Humanity's only hope is finding a new home. Blight has made wheat extinct over the years. Soon, even corn will vanish. Beyond the food crisis, without plants, humanity will suffocate. Murphy might belong to humanity's last generation. Cooper knows no habitable planets exist in the solar system. Human spacecraft can't reach other stars. An unknown force solved this problem. 50 years ago, NASA detected space-time anomalies near Saturn. This indicated a wormhole. Its origin remains unknown. It solved a major issue. Travel to other galaxies is now possible. Detector feedback indicates there are 12 planets available. Professor Brand created the Lazarus Plan. 10 years ago, 12 missions were sent through the wormhole. The goal was to assess 12 planets in another galaxy. If habitable, astronauts would signal for rescue. If not, they would sacrifice themselves on the planet. 3 planets have sent positive signals so far. Someone must now confirm these signals. Not just that. To ensure humanity's survival, Professor Brand created 2 final plans. Plan A involves building a giant space station to escape Earth. One gravitational equation remains unsolved. It needs relativity and quantum mechanics combined. Solving it is the biggest challenge. Plan B abandons over 6 billion people on Earth and relocates 5,000 fertilized embryos to a new home. Brand assured Cooper he would solve the equation before Cooper found a habitable planet. Cooper eagerly accepted the task. But Murphy struggled to accept his departure. Murphy had decoded the Morse code on the bookshelf. It read, "Don't let Cooper leave." Cooper knew the stakes were too great. Before leaving, Cooper gave Murphy a watch. He said their ages might match when he returned. However, Murphy discarded the watch. Her father's departure left her deeply saddened. As Cooper left the room, a book fell from the shelf again. Yet Cooper chose to leave for space. Neither Cooper nor Murphy knew decades would pass before they met again. After 2 years traveling through space, the Endurance finally reached Saturn. He saw the wormhole for the first time. Cooper wondered why the wormhole appeared as a perfect sphere. Romilly provided the explanation. He said a wormhole bends space to form a shortcut. He demonstrated how the wormhole bent space for travel. The concept was hard to grasp. The spacecraft shook violently while passing through. Warped space temporarily disrupted all electronics. They endured the gravitational waves. It felt endless. At last, the Endurance cleared the wormhole. They then headed to Miller's planet to confirm habitability. However, the planet orbited too close to a black hole. Near the black hole's event horizon, the planet's orbit near the black hole approached light speed. 1 hour there equaled 7 years on Earth. They knew time was critical. They landed on the planet quickly. No solid land was visible. Endless water ahead filled them with despair. Suddenly, while searching, Brand saw a massive wave approaching. Doyle urged them to return to the Ranger immediately. The sudden crisis cost the crew precious hours. Worse still, another crew member lost their life. It would take 23 years to return to Endurance. No one knows how Romilly endured 23 years alone. What hurt Cooper even more was failing his promise to Murphy, who already grown into a woman. The spacecraft had fuel for only one more planet. Cooper argued fiercely with Dr. Brand. Cooper insisted on Edmund's planet. It was the farthest from Endurance. Dr. Brand wanted another planet, as she and Edmonds had been lovers. Dr. Brand believed love could guide their decisions. She argued humanity over-relied on mathematics, neglecting the value of love. Love, she said, transcends time and space. People could love even those long gone. Though humans didn't fully grasp love's meaning, Dr. Brand believed it could guide their way. Cooper rejected that idea firmly. The spacecraft set course for Dr. Mann's planet. This planet was humanity's last hope. They woke Dr. Mann from long cryosleep. It was Dr. Mann's first human encounter in years. Dr. Mann explained. The planet had 67-hour days and nights, with temperatures as low as -100 degrees Celsius. He claimed frozen oxygen lay beneath the surface, and it would soon melt, making the planet habitable. At that moment, Endurance received a transmission from Earth. It had been 24 years since leaving Earth. Professor Brand, leader of the Lazarus Project, had died. Murphy had grown to be his successor. She discovered the truth about the plan. There was no Project Arc. Solving the equation linking relativity and quantum mechanics needed data from inside a black hole. Data that was impossible to obtain. Professor Brand lied, sacrificing $6 billion for his legacy. Dr. Brand was heartbroken hearing the news, but it was the truth. Humanity's last hope was starting a new generation on this planet. Cooper, however, was determined to return and see his daughter. As Cooper prepared to leave Dr. Mann's planet, Dr. Mann attacked Cooper suddenly, pushing him down a steep slope. The planet was revealed as uninhabitable. Dr. Mann had faked all the data. At the critical moment, Cooper activated comms and sent a distress signal. Dr. Brand quickly responded. Only then did she realize the deception. She instructed Romilly to avoid the base, but it was too late. Dr. Mann killed Romilly, trying to seize the Ranger. He tried forcing a docking with Endurance, believing it his only chance for survival. But without proper docking codes, his attempt caused decompression and an explosion. The explosion knocked Endurance off orbit. If unchecked, Endurance would crash. Cooper endured intense forces trying to dock with the spinning station, matching the rotation to 6,700 RPM, synchronizing with Endurance's speed. Dr. Brand passed out under the centrifugal force. Finally, Cooper docked successfully. One option remained: to head for Edmund's planet. But there wasn't enough fuel for the journey. Cooper devised a bold plan. Use the slingshot effect, leveraging the black hole's gravity. By letting the ship fall into the black hole's outer layer, using the last fuel to escape the gravitational pull, they would use inertia to reach Edmund's planet. But Cooper wasn't fully truthful. There wasn't enough fuel to escape the black hole. Cooper chose to sacrifice himself for the mission's success. During preparations, Brand realized Cooper's plan. Cooper explained calmly that sometimes sacrifices are necessary. He assured her they had enough data for success. Cooper and TARS descended into the black hole. No one knows what's inside a black hole. The spacecraft tore apart in an explosion. Cooper ejected just in time. Suddenly, he saw a glowing circular structure. Cooper entered a tesseract, a 3D depiction of five-dimensional space. Not only that, TARS, who fell with Cooper, was still functional. An advanced civilization had saved Cooper, placing him in five-dimensional space. To help him understand this higher reality, they made a 3D construct in the five-dimensional space. Here, time was a tangible dimension. Gravity was the sole method of interdimensional communication. Cooper realized he could affect events through time. Cooper understood the anomaly in Murphy's room was him trying to communicate from this space. The realization overwhelmed him emotionally. Why didn't I stay with Murphy? Regretfully, he wished he could stop himself from leaving. But he realized his future self had caused a falling books. He knew the past was unchangeable. Cooper pieced it all together. He realized he was in the five-dimensional space for a reason. His purpose was to send black hole data to Murphy. As Dr. Brand said, love could transcend dimensions, enabling communication across time and space. The watch was the key to the message. Cooper told TARS to encode the black hole data. He planned to send the data via the watch's second hand. He believed Murphy's love would help her decode the message. Meanwhile, Murphy revisited her childhood room and recalled the strange events. After years, the mystery remained unsolved. She revisited her Morse code notes. Then Murphy realized the ghost was her father. Murphy finally took the watch her father had left her. She found the encoded data on the watch. Overwhelmed, Murphy understood it all. She realized they had the black hole data. She used it to solve the gravitational equation. Meanwhile, future humans dismantled the tesseract. Cooper returned to the solar system via the wormhole, just as his oxygen ran out. Scientists on Cooper Station found him. By then, over a century had passed on Earth. Murphy had saved humanity by solving the equation. She built a room for her father on Cooper Station. When Cooper reunited with Murphy, Murphy was over 100. Cooper whispered no parent should outlive their child. With that, he let her go. The love Dr. Brand believed in had proven true. Love guided humanity to a new home. Though life may stretch on, and the future seem unreachable, somewhere in the universe, someone like that exists. Someone who would cross the universe for you.